Hey everybody, Brian here from quantlabs.net. I want to show you a big news item that was out last week. This is a site that allows you to download a stock screener in Excel, but that's not the point here. This is the point. Update on 20th of May, Yahoo Finance has discontinued their free historical data API. Now, some are suggesting to go through a workaround like Google Finance. I played with it lately. It's not very good. So, what does that enable you to do? Well, here I've got two CSV files or text files, and those are generated through IQFeed. Okay, so gone are the days now where you can use Yahoo Finance for
Hey there,
historical.
how's your trading going?
So,
Let me
if
show
you
you
want to
some
learn how to do the data, historical data, just come under here under IQFeed under my playlist. There's a whole variety of different tutorials and software in that that will help you generate the files that you are looking at, which are right here. And if I was to load them up, let's see if I can do this. So just give me a second here. Need to go under a certain directory. Python. Okay. It's pretty simple, I think. This one. Okay, so one of these files that we've been talking about is, let me just see if my LibreOffice will catch it. Okay, so it's important in the document. All right, so this is a typical file or format, date, time, open, high, low, close, and volume. You can see here there's about, I don't know how many rows, it's quite a few though. So it's about, I've seen it, 500,000 with the utilities that I download, so that's just a typical format, okay? So be aware of that. Now, this is my script that I just had to recreate with all the necessary packages, reads the CSVs, which are really these text files. And I'm just going to use the last 3 years worth. I have full control of how much data I want. I'll show you how that'll work. We need to convert one of the file dates. Now, here's the thing. With this data, this is 5-minute data that goes back. I can't remember how far back, but it goes pretty far back. And what I've done is I've only extracted the last 18,000 rows of each file. And then from there, it will format it for the X on the plot. And actually, I could take this out, or run that out, comment that out. And what it'll do is, because that file I just showed you, the date is in a string format, we have to convert it into a date that can be used within the plot. And it just goes looping through each row in the file and formats the date, converts it into from a string to a proper format, which then can be used to plot a date. So that's what we're doing here. And here you'll notice I have the comments of where I got that code from. Okay, so obviously we need to plot both data sets, Apple and Amazon in this case, and then we just plot the X and Y. Title, legend, location is upper left, and then show the plot. So when I run this, what it will do is, it's a very simple plot. Obviously, blue is Apple, green is Amazon, and that goes as far back as just last year, February 2006, roughly. Okay. So the key here is it's tough to do uh, time intraday data. So let's say if I was just to do, I don't know, 1,000 points, the charts gets really messed up. So if I just show you, actually it's not too bad, but still, if there's not enough data, it will just look really wonky. So the best thing to do is to go far back as the 18, about a year or so. But it depends upon the data that you download as well. From my case, this data came from IQFeed. So let me just save that and then rerun it. So something it didn't like. I think it's just too much data. Yeah, the data is out of dimension. So let's say, I'll show you what I could do. Is one of two ways. So I could just take out Amazon, not plot Amazon, let's say, and just plot Apple. So you can see Apple, here was a stock split, I believe, and then it goes as far back as 2013 for that data. Okay, so if I was to do the same thing with just Amazon, and because we're plotting them together, we have to make sure that we have the same data size of number of rows for both Amazon and Apple, but they're not. That's why we need to do that tail. I'll show you in a second. So here's Apple. Oh, so we don't want to plot that one. We want to plot this one. Yeah, so we're only plotting Amazon. So if I get rid of this as well, hopefully this will plot okay. DF1 not defined. Boy, oh boy. No, okay, I can just change this to here. Okay, let's hope this runs. Looks like it will. Okay, so this is Amazon. You can see it's had a pretty good run since 2013 or so. So remember, this is 5-minute data that we're looking at. So if I go back, uncomment this, but here when I was referring to tailing, we only want to extract the last number of rows. So in my case, we could do, I don't know, 18,000 times 5, let's say. I'll just leave it at that, do a comparison, and we'll just leave it at that. But just want to show you, because here it's going to tail only the same length of amount of data, number last set of rows for both Amazon and Apple. So let's see what happens here. So see, they're all out of dimension here. So if I go back, like I said, 3 seem to work okay. And that's probably, just depends upon how the data is. But I mean, even if I was to go back 2 years, or not 2 years, but roughly about in around there, 2 to 3 years. So it's wanting the same amount of data. So let me just see here. This might be the problem. Nope. But it's just a dimension problem of some kind. Fun parts of maybe. Let's see if this will work. Oh, yes, that would make a difference. Okay. I think we was 18,000. Okay, that should work. There we go. So you can see it goes as far back as April 2013. Sorry, April 13th, 2017. Whereas, I think it was 180,000 points. So that might make a difference. Let's just try that out. There we go. Yeah. So it's 180,000 points there times 3 for 5-minute data. So let me just reiterate what I've just done. We've got here a database or CSV files, comma separated values, around 2 to 3, 4, maybe half a million data points in each file for Apple and Amazon. We are displaying 180,000 times 3, so we're extracting the last X amount of data or rows based upon 180,000 times 3. So we'll keep the dimensions for both data frames the same of 1 and 2. So when we extract the date, it'll keep the same amount. And then when we plot here, they'll both be the same size. So they're not going to be different sizes where you get that non-dimensional error for between the two data frames. And that's it. And it runs. So I'll put up the code here. Just wanted to highlight, but the real big takeaway is this news on the data. Now, it looks like you will need to get a paid solution now. I'm using IQFeed for my data. For US data, it's fine. It's a couple of hundred, like maybe close to $100 a month, something like that. But do keep that in mind if you want to continue working. Days of being El Cheapo with Yahoo are done because they're no longer supporting free historical data. And that was the problem I had last week where I was getting these weird bugs because I didn't even know that this was a case that Yahoo just cut off the historical data. And I'm not sure if I can find any formal announcements on it. So that's the big news, and hopefully that'll help you out somehow. And then I'll talk to you later.